I thought I knew what betrayal felt like. Until the day my wife Vera walked into our divorce hearing with him right behind her. Marcus, the man who had been tearing my world apart for 8 long months. Well, I didn't even know his name. But here's the cruel irony about betrayal and revenge. They often find you when you're least prepared. It all hit me 3 weeks before the court date. I was sitting in my lawyer's office, going through what I thought were the final, dull details. Then Patricia dropped the bombshell. Vera had listed Marcus Holloway as a character witness. A character witness, the very man who had been sneaking behind my back, lying to me, was now supposed to stand in court and vouch for her good nature. I laughed, bitter and hollow, not because it was funny, but because the sheer audacity of it shattered something inside me. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and keep watching, because the best part's coming up next. Vera had spent years telling me I wasn't enough, that I didn't understand her, that I was too wrapped up in work to notice what she really needed. And now she planned to parade her lover in front of a judge like he was some kind of prize. Patricia saw the storm brewing in my eyes and asked if I was okay. I wasn't okay. I hadn't been since the day I found those texts on Vera's phone 6 months ago. Messages that started small but grew into everything I had failed to give her. That night, sleep escaped me. I couldn't stop thinking about Marcus sitting there, about to paint my wife as the honest, kind, and faithful woman I knew she was not. That's when it hit me. If he was going to stand there and lie for her, then maybe his wife needed to know exactly where her husband spent his afternoons. I know how this sounds. Trust me, I'm not proud. I had tried everything to save us, counseling, changing myself, begging for honesty. But some people are empty inside. And Vera? She had already checked out emotionally long before she walked away physically. She had replaced me in every way that mattered. Finding Alina Holloway was disturbingly easy. A quick search on social media showed me her life. Kindergarten teacher, married to Marcus for 12 years, mother to 2 beautiful daughters, photos of family vacations, birthday parties, ordinary moments that should have been hers alone. She had no idea. She was living her life, completely unaware that her husband was texting my wife about secret weekend getaways. She deserved to know. More than that, she deserved the choice of what came next. I sent her a message. No accusations, no anger. Just, I think we need to talk about our spouses. Within an hour, she called. Her voice was fragile, trembling with the kind of pain that only comes from long-held suspicions finally confirmed. She had felt it. The late nights, the sudden business trips, the cold distance in Marcus's eyes. She just needed someone to tell her the truth. We met at a quiet coffee shop downtown. Alina was smaller than I imagined, with eyes that had already cried too many tears. She pulled out screenshots from Marcus's iPad, texts that matched perfectly with what I had found on Vera's phone. For 3 hours, we pieced together the puzzle we'd both been trying to solve in silence. The lies, the hidden hotels, the way everything at home had changed. She told me about finding a receipt for expensive lingerie she'd never seen. I shared the credit card charges at places I'd never been. But the hardest moment was when Alina asked me if I thought they were really in love. She wondered if maybe it was just passion, that reckless, destructive kind, that made people throw away years of marriage. Even then, she was still hoping to save what was left. Looking at her, the other woman who had been betrayed just like me, I realized we weren't seeking revenge. We wanted justice, truth. Sometimes justice means making sure the right people hear the whole story. So I told her about the court date, about Marcus testifying for Vera. And that's when Alina made a choice that changed everything. She hired a lawyer, filed for divorce, and asked to be a witness in my case. On the morning of the hearing, I arrived early. Vera was already there, dressed like she was going to a job interview, not a divorce. Then Marcus walked in, tall, confident, the kind of man who never had to fight for anything. He nodded at Vera and took the seat right behind her, like he owned the place. My stomach twisted. Then Alina walked in. Marcus's face went pale. He leaned over and whispered urgently to Vera. She turned and saw Alina, quiet, composed, sitting just 3 rows back. Alina didn't look at either of them. She just opened her purse and waited. Like what you see? Click like, hit subscribe, and stay tuned. Let's keep going. The hearing began normally. Division of assets, custody discussions, the usual heartbreak of ending a marriage. Then Vera's lawyer called Marcus to the stand. He walked up like a man walking to his execution. His voice was steady, but I saw the shaking in his hands as he swore to tell the truth. He praised Vera's kindness, intelligence, and her commitment to, get this, honesty and integrity. Then Patricia stood, eyes cold, and asked the question everyone was holding their breath for. Mr. Holloway, how long have you been having an extramarital affair with Mrs. Vera Thompson? The courtroom fell silent. The kind of silence that presses on your chest. Marcus looked at Vera, then at Alina, then back at the judge. He could have lied, denied it. But Alina was right there, with all the proof. 8 months, he whispered. Then Patricia called Alina to the stand. She walked up with a quiet strength, the kind only pain can teach you. She spoke clearly, about texts, receipts, lies, about learning that your husband loves someone else, from a stranger's message, about explaining to your children why Daddy won't be coming home anymore. Then she looked Vera straight in the eye and said, I don't hate you. I feel sorry for you. Because someone who can destroy 2 families for their own happiness, that person will never know what real love means. The judge gave me everything I asked for, the house, the assets. But that wasn't the victory. The real victory was watching Vera finally face the consequences of her choices. To see that taking what you want without care for others always costs more than you think. Marcus and Alina divorced 3 months later. She kept the house, the kids, and from what I hear, is rebuilding a life free from lies. Vera and Marcus? They tried to make it work. Moved in together. Tried to build something real on the ruins. But foundations built on betrayal don't last. They broke up 6 months later. Marcus couldn't live with the guilt of what he'd done to his children. Or maybe Vera couldn't face dating someone capable of lying to the person he supposedly loved most. I don't know if what I did was right, if involving Alina was justice, or just revenge dressed up in the truth. But I do know this. The truth came out. And everyone got to decide their future based on the whole story. Not just the parts Vera and Marcus wanted you to see. Sometimes I wonder if Vera thinks about that day. If she replays the moment she saw her affair partner's wife sitting behind her, ready to testify. If she wonders how things might have been different if she'd just been honest from the start. But some people never learn. They just find new ways to break the same hearts. Honestly, if I'm being completely real, I'm still conflicted about what I did. On one hand, exposing the truth felt necessary. No one deserves to be lied to, especially not Alina or me. But on the other hand, I wonder if dragging someone else into this pain made things even messier. Revenge and justice sometimes blur together, and it's hard to tell which one you're really chasing. In the end, maybe the biggest lesson is that honesty, even the hardest kind, is always better than secrets. What do you think? Would you have done the same or walked away quietly? If you connected with this story, please hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any new videos. And I really want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for listening.